Got to have some words of Torah this morning, aside from what we read. And I imagine that a lot of people are feeling the same thing that Andy and I were just expressing just a second ago, and that is how sad it's going to be not to be in this building and not to be with each other for the next little while anyways. But as it says in the Talmud, it's important to give up one Shabbos in order to have many Shabbatot. And that's an important statement in the Gemara, because what it says is we have to really protect ourselves so that we have the opportunity to celebrate again with each other in the future. And so let me share with you one quick idea that comes from this morning's Parsha that's based on a comment by Rashi, and essentially can be summed up in that colloquialism that says, idle hands makes for the devil's work. I don't know if you've ever heard that phrase before, but it essentially says if you sit around doing nothing, then what you'll end up is leading yourself to sin. Now, that's a challenge for us right now, because many of us are either out of work or underemployed or stuck at home. And that is a statement that is easy to imagine. And therefore, I suggest to you that it's at precisely these times and in these circumstances that Jewish law requires of us to lean in further. Because we don't have a lot of time, because we have too much time on our hands right now, Jewish law says lean into your Yiddishkeit, lean into your commitment. This is an opportunity for you to tune some skills, to gather new skills. And we're going to be putting lots of things up on the internet for you to attach with us and connect with us, but it's an opportunity to learn. And so I would suggest to you who are sitting here in the synagogue and those who are watching that please to contact me and make a time so that we can study together. This is an opportunity for us to lean into our Yiddishkeit. There is a wonderful juxtaposition in this morning's Parsha. There is the juxtaposition of the Mishkan and Shabbat. Two opposing forces, seemingly, according to the text. The text of the Torah talks about the building of the Mishkan. Ve'asu Mishkan, that you have to make a Mishkan. The opposite, of course, is the complete cessation of creativity, and that is Shabbat. We have two polar opposites pulling at us at the exact same time. We can imagine, because we're a people who is used to building. We were builders in Egypt, right? We watch in the Torah of the building of the Mishkan. And now, in the very exact same language, the text says, V'asu Shabbat, Ya'aseh Shabbat. You have to make Shabbos. I don't know if any of you remember that phrase. Maybe when you were a child growing up, your parents used to say it. Mine certainly did. And that is, I got to make Shabbos. Because for making Shabbos isn't just a cessation from work. It's something you actually have to do. So Rashi has this incredible statement. Just because you have a desire, a compulsion to work, don't get anxious when there is no work to do. Rashi says, Kol achin v'rakim me'utim li'me'at Shabbat mamlechet hamishkan. You can replace the building of the Mishkan, your obsession to build, with a new obsession called Shabbat. My father used to always say, there was a great commercial for a getaway place called Club Med. And I remember it. For those who are watching, you remember the commercial. The Club Med vacation, the antidote to civilization. And my father used to say that is what Shabbat is. It's the opportunity to take a break from our very uncivilized lives in order to gain some civility in our existence. So I say this to you with all seriousness. This is one long commercial for Yiddishkeit. at these times, people want to abandon all norms and say that these are completely different times. To which I suggest to you, no, we have to lean into our Judaism even more. We have to lean into our community even more. We have to desire to be connected even more, because it's not going to be so easy. So I say, replace all of those other things that have been hounding you, all the fears, all the anxiousness, with a connection to your tradition, with a connection to our people, with a connection to our texts, with a connection to ourselves. We have to find ourselves once again. Shabbat Shalom. Cantor, you want to introduce a melody for Musaf?
Yes, thank you.